This is Haystack Help Radio on KLZ 560. Haystack Help Radio is powered by HaystackHelp.com. Finding help can be like finding a needle in a haystack, but with HaystackHelp.com, finding the needle just got easier. Now, Haystack Help Radio with Scott Watley on KLZ 560.
Welcome to Haystack Help Radio. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Scott Watley. We appreciate you being with us. Today's a special edition of Your Money Matters with our good friend Kurt Rogers. This show is brought to you by Affordable Interest Mortgage. Their number is 720-895-0500. And you can check out their website at aimortgage.net. Mr. Rogers, how are you, sir?
You know, I'm doing pretty good. We're almost into March.
I don't know where the year's
all of a sudden
going. Yeah.
And I know that days go faster for you because you're older than me, but you know, they're still moving along pretty quickly.
They are that. They are that for sure. Again, Affordable Interest Mortgage is your one-stop shop for all of your mortgage needs. No matter what you need to do in that mortgage realm, they can help. And I've been doing it a long time, and really the only people we've ever, for probably 15 years, been referring people to are 12 years. How long exactly? Because it seems like 15.
We've known each other since probably 95.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's been a while.
17 years. Yeah. It's been a while.
I was dark-headed then. Met Kurt. Got gray hair like him. You can also join us on Facebook Live. Go to Haystack Help Radio, and Cassie will be running that for us. If you have any questions about mortgages, and our topic today is actually going to be reverse mortgages. And but if you got any questions, you can get us through our Facebook page there at Haystack Help Radio. And also our lines are open, 303-477-5600. But before we get into our guest, Kurt, and our topic today, boy, you know, it always amazes me sometimes when I run across people that have lived here for quite a while, and they are choosing to rent. And when I hear the monthly payment on that rent, I'm like, wow, do you know what you could own for that?
Yeah, there's strong arguments for and there's strong arguments against owning. Let's talk about the ones that for. When you own your home, when you're buying a home and you pay it off, you own it. It's yours. It's done. So you have no more payments. That doesn't happen when you rent. Your home's going to appreciate, and the only thing you have to deal with is you got mortgage interest and taxes and maintenance, but you're gaining all this equity. There used to be a tax credit, and there still can be. The tax laws have changed to where you can't write off the interest of the mortgage if it doesn't exceed $24,000 with a couple other things. Mm-hmm. So about 88% of the people have actually lost their interest tax credit that they had. It's really not a bad thing when you look at it because that $24,000 is normally higher than the other one, so it works for you. But that advantage isn't quite as strong as it used to be. But strong arguments for renting are you don't own the house and you pay quite a bit less. So what I did is I tried to run some numbers because I'm an advocate of owning a home if for no other reason you become part of a community. You have a neighborhood. You become part of that neighborhood. But if you rent for 5 years, and let's say your rent's $1,950 a month, in 5 years you're going to pay $117,000. Now, if you own a home in 5 years on a $300,000 house, you're going to pay $1,846 for the same 5 years. Now, that includes taxes. Mm-hmm. That includes homeowners insurance. There is no mortgage insurance in that. Now you're only going to pay $110,800. So right off the bat, you saved about $7,000. In a rental, you got to pay first and security, which is about $3,900. But to purchase, let's say you have to put 3% down, so that's $9,000. But if your home appreciates at 4% a year, they've been doing 6.9 to 10 over the last 6 to 8 years.
Right.
Conservatively, if it appreciates at 4, your house in 4 years or 5 years is going to be worth $360. Your payoff is going to be $264. So when you subtract that all out, in 5 years, you're going to have $95,000 in your pocket. And you didn't pay more per month to get there.
Right.
Even if you spend an extra $1,000 or $2,000 or $3,000 a year to keep the home up, you're still not touching into that $95,000. So renting, while it may be beneficial, sometimes isn't as good. You really need to sit down now and look at what are the numbers. How does it affect me? Am I going to be in this area for 3 to 5? Do I want that 95? Because it's not costing you anymore.
Sure.
Well, too many people think it is.
Right. And like I say, I think you got to sit down. Everybody's different. Everybody's situation's different. Their desires may be different, what they want to do, where they want to be in 5 years
Correct.
financially. But I'm telling you, when you look and I mean, you and I know some folks that are getting ready to make a move, and I look at what they paid for some property just a few years back and where it is today, and I think it's going to go nowhere but up from there. I actually hate to see them do this right now because I think that area is going to be booming. But they need to sit down with somebody that you can trust that doesn't have any fight there. I mean, you know,
No skin in the game.
No skin in the game, and just say, hey, what do you want to do? Let me just show you numbers. And when you look at numbers like this, that's real money. I mean, $8,000's a lot of money.
$95,000.
Yeah.
One of the questions I ask people when they ask me about rent versus own, I said, do you rent your car? No, you own your car.
Mm-hmm. Why
Why would you rent a house? A house is appreciate.
Sure.
Cars depreciate. So you're going to pay money to own a car that's losing value, unless it's a 67 Chevelle Classic like mine. It keeps going up. But in most cases, they're going to go down.
Right.
A home is going to continue to go up. So why are you renting it and let somebody else suck up the appreciation? Forget the tax advantage. Even if that's gone, you're still losing $95,000
Yep.
on average, conservatively, in 5 years.
Wow.
And the numbers that we can talk about later is how that's even going to get better, because more millennials are starting to buy homes because they're starting to understand this.
Absolutely. Give Kurt and his team a call. They'll sit down with you, help you out. They can help you over by phone, but I'm telling you, across the desk is always better. Kurt can show you the real numbers. And again, Kurt's someone that we've been trusting for many, many years with all of our things and friends and listeners from the show, all that. And I promise you they'll take great care of you. Again, it's Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. Our topic today, reverse mortgages.
Yes.
So let's talk now. I'm trying to think how long time flies. Was it 2 years ago where the change kind of came a little bit?
Michael, how long ago was it? The big change just happened.
The biggest change was the amount of equity that the borrower would have available to them to use for their needs.
Okay.
It's been reduced. So that's the downside. The good side is the property values here in Colorado have continued to grow, and it's more than offset that equity change.
Right. And that voice you hear is Michael Genova. He is with Affordable Interest Mortgage. And again, boy, I don't know if there's any area in mortgages, Kurt, that's probably had more lies told about it, so to speak, and myths out there than reverse mortgages, because a lot of, I mean, I've met financial planners that really don't understand it, and because they don't understand it, they say it's bad. You know,
Right.
Michael, have you seen that?
Many times. And again, I think it has to do with the myths that have been created over the years, the negative things we've heard. I'm giving up the ownership of my home. What's going to happen to my heirs? All those concerns. And so many times you hear it from professionals that they're the ones that create the myths and pass the myths on.
Right.
They really don't understand what the product is. And I think what we need to do is talk about how regulated it is, how well the borrower is protected. And this loan is insured by FHA. It's a product that was created during the Reagan administration. And we're seeing more and more people partake in it. I think that's because they're becoming more comfortable with it. The information is getting out there. Mm-hmm. So as people have knowledge, that reduces their fear. Once they reduce their fear, then they start partaking in a program that can be very beneficial for them.
Right. Again, if you've got any questions, our lines are open, 303-477-5600. So let's just start right at the beginning. And, you know, it's kind of obvious when we say reverse mortgage, but how do you define it when people say, really, what is a reverse mortgage?
I think the important thing to understand, unlike your current mortgage, where every time you make a payment, the amount that you owe is reduced. Call this reverse because you don't make a payment, but your loan grows. So that's one thing that people have a tough time understanding. You have to kind of let that go, what a forward mortgage is, and understand a reverse mortgage. The proper term for reverse mortgage is called home equity conversion mortgage. And that's what FHA identifies it as. And I think it's important that we use that term because it helps us understand that's what we're doing. We're converting the equity in our home for our needs. And we can do it to protect our home and to protect our right to live in our home and our desire to live in our home.
Now, who qualifies?
Well, that's generally speaking, the simple number is 62 years or older. There are some situations where you can have a spouse who's under 62, but then again, your equity is going to be reduced that's available to you. But 62 and older qualify.
And that's relatively new because a couple of years ago, both parties had to be 62. Now that's not necessarily the case.
Correct. And the product is now available to that situation where a spouse is younger than 62.
So like Scott, who's well into his late 60s, has his wife who's probably 45.
Right.
Right. She looks 45. He could do a reverse, but it would be calculated off of her.
Correct. And that goes back to the equity that becomes available to you. The equity would be reduced because they're going to say that person, that spouse, is going to live in that home that much longer. The loan is going to grow that much longer. So we don't want to get into a situation where we are upside down, and we don't want you to get into that situation. However, if that should be the case, you need to understand this is a non-recourse loan. There's no way that lender can come at you and say, hey, I want those other assets you may have because this property's upside down. Right. Another nice feature that is offered by FHA and the insurance that is provided.
Now that's one of those myths. People, yeah,
correct.
Kind of explain where it was and what the real portion of that is.
I can't explain where people got the idea that they would lose their home if they were upside down. I don't know where that all started, but that was, urban myth. It's been out there for years, and I still run into it today.
Mm-hmm. So when you sit down with someone maybe for that initial consultation, what does that kind of look like? What are the people most confused about? And then how do you figure out, hey, is this the best arrangement for them or not?
Well, that's a good question. I think what we try to do is gather some basic information. The basic information we would want is your name, your property address, and your date of birth. When we get that information, then I can enter it into our system, and that will tell me what you may be entitled to in terms of equity. Of course, if you have a mortgage to pay off, that'll have to be included. Mm-hmm. So I think that's where we like to start, rather than just talk about something that may not be your specific case. We want to make it specific to you. There's no obligation for that. We take it a little bit further. We like to meet with someone. Once you give me that information, I make an appointment. I meet with you. I come to your home. If you prefer, you can come to our office. And I go through in detail what the reverse mortgage is, what it involves, what the steps are. There's no signing. There's no pressure. It's just informative.
Right.
I try to learn what you know, and I try to share what I know. After you've done that, that's when you take the opportunity to look at counseling. If it looks like something that will work for you, then you need to schedule an appointment for counseling. Again, some more protection that's offered by FHA, protection for you. You're going to hear from a third party, an FHA-approved counselor, and they'll go through these things with you. They'll go through the numbers that I've provided for you. They'll confirm what I've provided for you, and again, for your protection. We need the counseling before we can go further.
Okay.
And that's the skin in the game. We talked about these counselors don't have any skin in the game. Their job is to make sure that you were explained as the client what a reverse mortgage does to jive with what you've told them.
Exactly. And it's and you pay for that through the insurance.
It's not free.
It's not free, but I think it's money well spent.
And the other thing is with the reverse, you don't have to pull the credit. Credit at this point is completely, whether you're an 800 or a 400, it doesn't affect anything else about the mortgage.
No, not at all. I don't get into that. I will pull the credit at a later date, but not in a preliminary, just to the research stage to try and find out what we can do for you. One thing I did not mention is we would want to know if you have an existing mortgage and what the balance is on that.
Okay.
If you don't have an existing mortgage, of course, we'll want to know that as well.
Right. Real quick before our break, I think a lot of times, people worry about, what are they leaving to the kids? Or maybe I should say the kids are worried about what their parents are leaving to them. Maybe I should put it that way. Is it something to where you say, hey, look, if you do have kids or people that you're planning on leaving stuff to, if you want to bring them to this initial consultation where they understand everything, you may get some parents say, hey, no, this is our deal and We understand it. That's all we care about. But then you also, I would assume, would welcome anyone that would want to come.
Absolutely. And again, it's up to the parents. That's who is doing the loan.
Right.
It's their ownership. It's their property. If they want to share information, more than happy. We encourage them. We want to have those discussions with the people that have the questions one-on-one. And I think that way there you communicate better, and they can understand what the purpose of the loan is. And primarily the purpose of the loan is to improve the quality of life for their parents.
Sure. You're listening to Haystack Help Radio, special edition of Your Money Matters. Our topic is reverse mortgages. Once again, you can join us through Facebook on our Haystack Help Radio page. If you've got any questions, send us a note through there. Cassie will get that to us. Or you can simply call 303-477-5600.
What could you do with an extra $500, $1,000, or even $1,500 per month? How would that change things for you? Would you buy a new car, pay off bills, or just feel a bit more secure about your retirement? What if I told you there's a way to make your dreams a reality? I'm talking about trading and investing in the market. Now, before you say, oh, that's not for me, just hear me out. I want to invite you to a half-day trading course so you can check this out. I promise you, you'll go away smarter than when you came in. We here at Online Trading Academy sponsor this, and we'll even send you home with a free home study video guide. Your money's doing nothing for you in a CD or mutual fund. Learn how to profit when the market's up or down. Call us now while seats are still available at 303-325-2776. Use offer code radio50. 303-325-2776. That's 303-325-2776.
Tired of being forgotten, disrespected, and not listened to when applying for a mortgage? Do you always get someone new when checking your loan status? Take AIM, Affordable Interest Mortgage, 720-895-0500. We have been serving Colorado since 2001. We are closing loans in 13 to 15 days. We offer paperless applications, ability to view your loan status 24/7, loans designed to fit your needs, not the bank's, with customized terms, whether purchase or refinance, all at low rates. Take AIM for quick pre-approvals, cash out to pay off high credit card debt, and see how hundreds of our clients are saving thousands in excess interest and payments, all while owning their home faster. Find out how. Call now, 720-895-0500, and talk to your personalized mortgage professional from start to finish. 720-895-0500. That's 720-895-0500, where it is all about you. Regulated by DOR, NMLS 298191, Equal Credit Lender.
Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center offers KLZ listeners complete pet care services every day, all at one location. It's so much more than a clinic and so convenient. Their expert staff is always happy to help your pet have the happy and healthy life it deserves. Schedule a medical checkup for your beloved companion, or take the first step toward a better behaved buddy by signing your pup up for obedience training. Did you know that if your sweet kitty needs grooming, Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center is one of the few facilities that offers grooming for both dogs and cats. And if you're planning a vacation, Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center offers boarding for dogs, cats, and other small pets, so you can take your vacation without worry, knowing that your four-legged family member's home away from home has a fully equipped medical center on site. Learn more about Lone Tree Veterinary Medical Center at lonetreevet.com or call 303-708-8050.
Need a new pickup? Lynn Lyle Chevrolet is having its Silverado year-end clearance sale, with Silverados starting at just $26,900. Lynn Lyle Chevrolet always has the lowest prices. Lynn Lyle Chevrolet, I-225 in East Colfax, or on the web at lynnlylechevy.com.
Rush to Reason with John Rush, weekdays from 3 to 7 on KLZ 560.
Welcome back to Haystack Help Radio and a special edition of Your Money Matters, brought to you by Affordable Interest Mortgage. 720-895-0500 is their number. And our topic today is reverse mortgages. And by the way, Michael Genova is with us along with Kurt Rogers. And Michael, this is, like you said, a kind of a free consultation. So if there's someone out there listening and they say, hey, don't really want to get on the highway and drive anywhere, you can work out something, possibly come to them and have a little family meeting and talk about this.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, most people are more comfortable in their home. Mm-hmm. Again, it's about what they want, whatever's comfortable for them. Because this is a big decision, and I think they need to be relaxed so they can listen and understand what needs to be understood.
Right.
So, yeah, we're happy to do that. And evenings, weekend appointments, we work with our clients as best we can.
Okay, you were talking earlier about having the children involved into it. And I understand one of my kids' questions were, well, if something happens to us and we're in a reverse, what happens to the property? What happens if mom and dad owe more in the property? And you had mentioned something about a recourse. How does that affect if the parent has given the house to the child in the will? How does that work?
Well, the heir would have an opportunity, if the property had value, to sell it and realize any net benefit there would be. So if the loan is $200,000 and the property is worth $300,000, that $100,000 would go to the heirs. So that's usually what happens. If it's upside down, if the reverses happen, if they owe $300,000 and the property is only worth $200,000, that's what the no recourse means. That means that no one is responsible for any upside down number. That's where your FHA insurance comes in, and they pick up the difference. So there's no fear of any family member that they could lose on this deal.
Or that anybody, the reverse mortgage company, could go after any portion of their parents' estate.
Non-recourse loan,
Yeah.
Exactly.
So if there is equity, the child gets it.
Correct.
If there isn't, child's not liable.
Correct.
But mom and dad were able to use that money for that period of time.
Correct.
And you do have to pay, and I think this is why some of the changes came over the last couple of years with this, you do have to pay taxes and insurance.
Right. The mortgage, if you do have a mortgage, that goes away. And at that point, you would be responsible for maintaining your home, no broken windows, no holes in the roof, and paying your taxes and your insurance. So that is still your responsibility. And as long as you do that, there is no way that anyone can make you leave your home.
Right. Now, you do this, you get your check, you got to report to anybody like what you do with the money or what are your options to do with the money.
I guess that's an important point, Scott. And the point is, number one, it is tax-free money. Number two,
we don't hear those words often.
Exactly.
Tax exempt, tax free.
Tax-free. So who cares what the new tax code is? It doesn't matter to you. It's your money. And that's the second point. It is your money. You can use it for vacation. You could use it for home improvements. You could use it to set up a education fund for your grandchildren.
Okay.
Pay medical.
Pay medical bills. In some cases, we're seeing financial planners realize the benefit of this product. In so doing, they have their clients look at a reverse mortgage so that they don't continue to draw off their existing financing, their other investments that are taxable. So it's becoming more popular. I don't think it's totally understood the way it should be by financial planners. This is a great tool that is growing in popularity.
Because it helps the client keep more of their money. Like you said, if you're 60, let's say you're 65, and instead of starting to tap your retirement, you just not have a mortgage payment.
Correct.
So now you got that extra $1,000 or $2,000.
Yeah, you may not only have no mortgage payment, you may have extra cash.
Right.
Or you may set up a monthly payment plan if you choose to do that. You have choices as to how you want to receive your money.
Do you have to take it? Let's say you have $100,000 that you have access to. Mm-hmm. Do you have to take it at the beginning? What are some of the different ways you might be able to get that money over time?
You can take it at the beginning. You can set up a line of equity that you don't have to take. That'll be there, called an emergency fund if you need it, and that grows. It kind of is connected to the property value growing as well. So you can have a line of equity of $100,000, don't take it, and watch it grow every year. Or you can have a monthly payment schedule. I want to take $200 a month, if that's your choice, or $300. Whatever is available, you have choices of how you want to handle that money.
Now, and we've worked together a long time. That's the first time I've heard that they have a line of credit that grows. So as my house goes up in value, my line of credit, my house might be worth $400 now, and in, let's say, 6 years it's worth $500. And my line of credit might be $100. So that could increase as I go along, as long as I'm not touching it. It could increase with that value.
Correct.
So as I have other needs down the road, I now have more than 100, so I don't have to redo this. I'm good at once I'm in.
Correct.
I did not know that. I learned something today.
You know, and sometimes we find people that are 62 are trying to decide, do I draw on my Social Security benefits now or do I wait? And this may be an option, a tool for you. Don't draw on your Social Security benefits now if that's what your financial planner thinks is best for you, and do this instead. That may be a situation where you say, you know, I don't want to take my money. I just want to do away with my mortgage. I want to have this money set up in a line of credit that I can tap when I'm 65, 70, 75 as I need it. It depends on your. There's a lot of different options available, and that's some of the things that we have discussion with you about. How do you want to structure that?
Because but you want to wait till you're 70, 70 and a half sometimes to maximize your Social Security, but it's really hard to do if you're making a mortgage payment.
Correct.
Or have, medical bills that are eating up the rest of your money.
Correct.
Could be a great tool.
Yep.
And that's why I like, having you guys right here in local, so people can come to you, sit across the desk from you, because we had a lady several years ago in our church that came, and she was talking to somebody online about, and I was like, and I don't even know where they were. Just because the number comes up at a 303 area code now, that doesn't mean they're in Colorado.
Nothing.
That means nothing. So, I would highly recommend anything financial at all, do that face-to-face across the desk and not online. You're sending information. A lot of things can just go wrong there, right, Kurt?
Quickly, very quickly.
Yeah, I think sometimes seniors have to be very, very careful about how easy it is to be taken advantage of. And I think some of that is eliminated when you're doing face-to-face with people that are going to be there the day after you talk to them. We have run into situations where lenders from other states do everything online, on the phone, and you never meet the person that you're doing business with. And in this world, you have to be careful of any situation where you don't know who you're doing business with.
Absolutely.
More so than ever.
Sure. Again, our line is open, 303-477-5600. If you've got any questions for Michael on reverse mortgages, we will help you out. So a few minutes left in this segment. So, a couple is married. Let's say the husband passes away. The wife can live in that home, for as long as she can, right?
She pays
and
her
nobody
taxes.
can ever do anything as long as they pay the taxes and insurance.
Exactly right.
Okay. Then if she were to have to maybe, let's say she passes away or goes to assisted living kind of thing like that for other family members, that's when something would have to be done to keep the property.
Correct. The short answer is you have about 6 months for that situation. You go into assisted living, you have 6 months. Your family can have an appraisal done or decide what they want to do with the property. Maybe they want to sell it, take advantage of it. Okay, so that is you still have a cushion of time in there that you can use after you go in.
Right. Okay.
But now, let's say someone has reverse, but they also have a property somewhere else, and their second home. Let's say they have property in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
Summertime they live here, wintertime they live there. Does that property in San Diego affect them using this house as a reverse?
It has
How
to
long
be
do they have to live here?
over more than 6 months a year, and it has to be their primary residence. It's best if they show that in their tax returns as their primary residence.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now the biggest question that most people will ask, and we get this right up front, what's the cost? Because we hear horror stories about the cost of a reverse.
Good question, Kurt. And there's a cost, and typically the costs are no different than if you're doing a refinance on a forward mortgage. You have title insurance, you have appraisal, you have credit report, you have those things. But in addition to that, you have an upfront mortgage insurance that FHA requires, and that's 2% of the appraised value. After that, you have 0.5% of the outstanding loan that you have to pay, and this is all growing in your loan. You don't pay it, it's just added to your loan.
Okay, great.
That's what's making the payoff increase.
Correct.
But you're paying the 2% is part of the loan.
Correct.
Not money out of your pocket.
Correct.
It's all part of the loan.
Correct.
But that's the insurance that guarantees you're never upside down, that nobody can ever take the house and they can't kick you out.
Exactly.
You're listening to Haystack Help Radio and a special edition of Your Money Matters. We got to take a short break. We'll be back with more right after this.
Littleton Heating and Air Conditioning is proud of their 45 years of HVAC service to Littleton, Highlands Ranch, and Denver metro area. Littleton Heating and Air Conditioning is your Lennox and Carrier expert heating and air conditioning contractor. They are proud to offer the finest heating, air conditioning, and indoor air quality products with prompt and professional customer service and satisfaction. Call today and mention Haystack Help Radio and save $25 off any repairs or $100 off your furnace installation. Call 303-798-3880. That's 303-798-3880 for your appointment today. Littleton Heating and Air, A-plus members of the Better Business Bureau and official Haystack Help registered company.
Ladies, I know you're tired of walking into the local gun store and seeing the same old thing. So let me tell you about Rampart Firearms. Just a quarter-mile up Highway 67 off of Santa Fe and Sedalia, you will find a great selection of guns, ammo, tactical, and personal defense weapons. And if you or your spouse love to hunt, Rampart Firearms is a great stop for all of your hunting needs. Shotguns, rifles, pistols, anything from predator hunting to your next big game trip. Head to Rampart Firearms at the foot of the Rockies. Open 6 days a week, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you will only pay a 4% tax on your purchase. RampartFirearms.com, 720-468-0050. That's 720-468-0050.
I was hurt in a car accident. The bills were piling up and my insurance company was giving me the runaround. I didn't know what to do, but then I called a lawyer I saw on TV. That lawyer had all the tools and the knowledge to get me $1.2 million.
Whoa. When you're hurt in an accident, you need Kevin Flesh of Flesh Law, a lawyer that's going to take your case seriously and not treat you like some get-rich-quick scheme. Serious car accidents are traumatic and can completely disrupt your life. Kevin Flesh has the integrity to help you get your life back on track. He will fight for you to get what you deserve, but he won't treat you like a lottery ticket. After you've been in an accident, call Kevin Flesh of Flesh Law at 303-806-8886 and make sure you will get someone who will do the right thing and get your life back.
Don't fall for gimmick ads when choosing your insurance coverage. Group Insurance Analyst has been Colorado's insurance superstore since 1984, where customers can compare and shop for all of their insurance needs. At GIA Insurance, their brokers have no allegiance to any particular health, auto, or home insurance company. Take advantage of their experience, expertise, and exceptional client service. For your free quote, call today at 303-423-0162. That's 303-423-0162. Visit their website, e-gia.com, or stop by their office at 44th and Garrison Street in Wheat Ridge. Group Insurance Analyst is an official Haystack Help registered company.
Got a question for the station? Email info@crawfordbroadcasting.com. Now back to Haystack Help Radio.
Welcome back to Haystack Help Radio. My name is Scott Watley. Once again, we appreciate you being with us. Kurt Rogers is with us from Affordable Interest Mortgage, and he has brought his reverse mortgage specialist, Michael Genova, with him, and we are talking about reverse mortgages today. Once again, if you've got any questions about them, this is a place to get the answers and answers you can trust. And I think that's the big thing, Kurt. You know, you look at all the things that have happened, the last couple of years with this, and when people don't understand, I said this earlier, but when people seem to don't understand things fully, they just think, oh, yeah, those are bad.
Yeah.
And you can't do that. I mean, they're not for everybody, and you guys are saying that. I mean,
they're not
is
for everybody.
Great tool.
It's like my all-in-one loan. It's not for everybody. And to say it doesn't work, you got to, maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't mean it's bad because it works for somebody. Reversers are good for some people. For some people, they're just not, the timing's not right on them.
Exactly.
It just doesn't fit.
It's an individual case by case.
So once you do this, somebody meets with you, they do this reverse mortgage, and maybe they're into it 4 or 5 years, and all of a sudden something happens in their family or whatever, they want to relocate somewhere, for lack of a better term. How do you get out of it? How do you do something different? Or is that real expensive to do?
It's no different than any other situation where you might have a loan. You can sell your property anytime you like. There's no prepayment penalty. You can move on. You buy that winning lottery ticket. You can stay there and pay off your loan. Or if you've got grandchildren that are close but not close enough, you can make that move as well.
Right. Now, let's look here. What are the different types of, and I know Kurt asked this earlier as far as getting the money. Let's run through those percentages again of what they can get. So if there's, $500,000 worth of equity in a home, what percentage of that can they get their hands on?
That depends on their age, Scott.
Okay.
And that's the big change that took place back in October. And it's a good change. It was hard to accept early on, but less equity is available than prior to October of last year. So that protects you even more. So that means the likelihood of ever being upside down, of ever owning money or spending all your equity is just not there. So you can take a lump sum payment, you can do monthly payments, or you can do a line of credit, or you can do a combination of all
any
three.
one of the three.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we have the software to calculate those numbers for you.
One of the myths and one of the things that people that I've known that I've talked to about reverses, they kind of get scared, say, well, I'm going to be upside down on my house. They're saying my payoff is going up, but they forget the value is going up. So percentage-wise, do you have any kind of idea as to what do you tell people when they ask that question?
Percentage of what?
Well, if the house is worth $300,000 now, and they're pulling out, let's say, $150,000, that payoff's going to go up. Might go up $700 a month, might go up $800, but the value of the house is moving.
Correct.
And they're concerned. They're saying, well, after so many years, it's going to exceed the $300.
Yeah, and here's a worksheet that we provide, and it's created by FHA. It's called an amortization schedule. And typically what I do is I take people 10 years out, and using what FHA believes your property will grow by and what your loan balance would be, never do I see that number be more than what the property value is. And again, that's some of the changes. They've tightened up a little bit.
Right.
But that's the benefit of it.
By lowering that equity, it's kind of actually cushioned the consumer to where they're going to be protected.
Yeah, your starting point is, to use the numbers, 50%, where it might have been 60%. At 50%, you still have half your equity to work with. At 60%, you only have 40%. Well, we're starting at 50% with the changes that are taking place. That's a simplification of the concept.
Sure. Now, let's talk about the process a little bit, the length of time it takes to get it done, all of that. So you have that initial consultation, and I assume sometimes there may be more than one consultation to make sure they get it. And then is the counseling call the next step once they look at you and go, hey, we think we want to do this?
Yes. The next step would be make an appointment for counseling. Once you've done that, and there's two ways you can do it. You can go to a local counseling office, FHA counselor, or you can call and do it online or on the phone. Typically, the phone call takes about half hour. We prepare you for both so that you know what kind of questions are going to be asked. And we have discussion about that so you understand what the whole process is about. And the phone call, typically, there's a charge. If you were to go to the office, there's no charge. The charges run about $125 to $150. Some of those counselors that are a phone call will allow you to defer that to your closing. Some require a credit card at that time.
Okay. And again, the whole point of that is just to make sure they understand everything that you told them, and that you are telling them the right things, because some people may want to skim over some things.
Exactly right, Scott. Yeah. So once they've got the counseling, that's when they say, okay, Mike, I've got that. Let's make an appointment. And then we take the 1009, which is the loan application. And at that time, I gather information that I've already given you a list that I might need: your bank statements, your Social Security cards, your photo ID, some basic information. And we complete the loan application. Once I have the loan application, I send it to the lender, and within about 4 or 5 days, we have a conditional approval from the lender. Once we have that, the appraisal needs to be done. The short answer is, once I have the application to the time of closing, I'd say about 30 days. And it doesn't take but 4 days after that before you receive your money, because there is another protection built into this. It's right of rescission. We can go all the way to the closing table. You can sign everything. You can take them home. My joke is you buy a winning lottery ticket. 4 days, you have to do that in 3 days.
Right.
And the fourth day, you say, I don't want to do this. Or on the third day, you don't want to do it. You have a right of rescission. So there's a lot of different ways that you are protected, and that's just one more.
Now, in the reverse, there's not just one type of reverse, meaning which it's not a 30-year reverse. It can go for 30 years, but there's arms in different types. Kind of explain the differences and how they help.
What we find generally is that the most popular is the adjustable arm. People hear the word adjustable and they don't understand it.
Right.
And again, that's the importance, and that's knowledge, and that's what we show what it means to you. Adjustable rates are based on the LIBOR, and if you look at the history of the LIBOR, they've performed probably better than you would think. There's limits as to how much they can go up in the rate, et cetera, and it's seldom do you even come close to that. So that's one example. That product is most popular because why? You are able to tap more of your equity.
Yep, and the payments are smaller.
And the payments, the loan grows slower.
Yes.
Okay. The other option is you can have another arm which has a cap that is much higher, and that is a resistance to most people. They don't want to see the potential that it can grow by 10 points over the life of the loan. And the third most popular, and we have to present all three of these,
right.
is a fixed mortgage, a fixed rate. And people tend to want that until they see what it means, because the fixed rate just does not perform as well. There are situations, yeah, that's what we will do.
Right.
And, of course, that's something, after we look at all the numbers, it's your decision.
Go ahead.
At any time, and we've kind of touched base on this, the only person that owns a home are the two people that are signing on it.
Correct.
You really would never want to put your kids on there. You can maybe put them on title for a will, but they're not on the loan.
Correct. It's, again, going back to the 62 and your spouse.
Right.
Okay, so those are the two that would be on the loan. And you can have somebody on title after.
Yeah. In case something happens to both of you, then if they own the home, they just got to figure out how to take care of the loan.
That's a situation that maybe a financial planner could direct you better, but those are your choices, yes.
Well, have you found over the years of doing this, when you sit down with people and you go through the truths about this, they're like, wow, I never knew that, or that's not what I either believed or that's not what I was told?
Time and time again, Scott. Again, the biggest myth is I'm going to lose my home. That's why I don't want to get into this situation. I can lose my home. But when they see how they can benefit in terms of quality of life and financial planning and how they can handle their money, this is their largest asset in most cases.
Sure.
And they're not utilizing it. So, yeah, we see that quite often. That, and again, if you think about the counseling, you're going to hear it again and again. It's not just a loan originator, a reverse mortgage guy telling you, here's the numbers. You're going to understand the difference between an arm and a fixed. Those are the questions that you're going to be asked when you go through counseling.
Sure. And, when you look at the reasons why people may want to do this, sure, they may need some money for some reason, but some, I guess, you could get a second home with. You could buy another property. You may want to fix up your home a little bit with some of the money. And then for a lot of people, I'm sure it's just that comfort zone of being able to look at your bank statement there and say, I got some money there if I need it. So there's a lot of different reasons people do this.
Having security as we get older is something we seek more seriously. And it's something that we always want. Can it be obtained? Well, that's a life question, but this is a tool to help you obtain that. You're going to feel more comfortable about your financial position. Again, we encourage working with financial planners. If you do have a financial planner, we encourage you to work with your family. Again, it's your choice. It's your home. Any way you want to proceed.
Right. And most financial planners are very, very good, but you know what? You may have one that doesn't understand it. And, Kurt, I would just say this. Hey, if you've been warned against these or whatever, it doesn't cost one thing to give you guys a call at 720-895-0500, just so they can hear themselves from someone and present it, and at least go back and ask your financial person, hey, here's what they told me.
Here's what the counselors, not the mortgage broker told
Right.
me. Here's what the counselors told me on how this works.
And this looks like it could be good for me.
They can't sell it to me, but here's what they're
Right.
telling me. So this could benefit me. Why do you not like it?
Yeah, that'd be a good thing to do. 720-895-0500 once again is the number for affordable interest mortgage. Their website is aimortgage.net. We'll be right back.
If you're looking for great deals on outdoor equipment and clothing, we've got you covered. Hi, this is Bill Paddock, owner of the Outdoorsman's Attic, your outdoor gear consignment headquarters. You'll save 20, 30, 40, even 50% on previously owned outdoor gear for the fisherman, hunter, and camper. We also sell live bait, firearms, and ammo. If you're doing a little spring cleaning, bring in your gear to the Outdoorsman's Attic. We'll sell it for you and put cash in your pocket. You can also pick up your hunting and fishing licenses right here at the store. Your one-stop shop for all your outdoor gear needs is the Outdoorsman's Attic, located at 2650 West Hampton Avenue in Sheridan, Colorado. 303-781-3626. That's 303-781-3626. Or visit us online at outdoorsmansattic.com. Mention Sportsman's of Colorado and receive 20% off all your outdoor clothing.
Are you well positioned today with your current financial advisors? Or should you consider switching advisors? And if so, how can you find the right one? To help people like you, Dot Mechtenberg offers a free second opinion service. Let Dot help you achieve your retirement goals. Call Dot Mechtenberg today at 303-940-7807. That's 303-940-7807 or visit dotmechtenberg.com. Securities and advisory services offered through Genios Wealth Management Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC.
Hi, this is Scott Watley. Let me tell you what I love about Stack Optical. They are truly one of the last optician-owned, family-owned optical stores. At Stack Optical, you can be confident you'll receive personal attention. For over 50 years, Alan Stack has shown he really cares about making his customers happy. Stack Optical also has a beautiful new location at 2233 South Monaco Parkway in Denver. Free and easy up-close parking. Stack Optical has an on-site eyeglass production lab. Whether you need office eyewear or a new set of shooting or golf glasses, Stack Optical has the solution with the Stack Sport Pack. Give them a call today and ask for their $69 eye exam. 303-321-1578. That's 303-321-1578. Your eyes and vision are one of the most important things in life. I'm confident at Stack Optical you'll see the difference. That's 303-321-1578, stackoptical.com.
Lynn Lyle Chevrolet is having its year-end clearance sale on all new 2017 Chevrolets. Other Chevy dealers are offering 20% off. We're going to top that. We're offering 30% off on new Chevrolets. Lynn Lyle Chevrolet, I-225 in East Colfax, or on the web at lynnlylechevy.com.
Rush to Reason with John Rush. Weekdays from 3 to 7 on KLZ 560.
We are back. You're listening to Haystack Help Radio and a special edition of Your Money Matters. Brought to you by our friends at Affordable Interest Mortgage. Their number is 720-895-0500. Website is aimortgage.net. Always a free consultation. And that's one thing I've always appreciated about Kurt. Boy, he takes the time with people over the phone. And Kurt, I just had a friend recently that you couldn't help here, and boy, you're kind enough to offer them somewhere else in another state that could help them. But again, I want to hook people up with I know who we can trust. And that's what all this kind of networking is about, because I don't have to worry about it then.
One of our best friends that I've done loans with for a long time, he was moving somewhere else. I couldn't help him, but I knew somebody that he could trust. So, yeah, I don't have a problem with that.
Yeah.
I want to make sure they're taken care of, because who knows? He might come back.
Sure.
If he does. He needs me again.
Absolutely. Michael Genova is our guest. Again, Michael is with Affordable Interest Mortgage. And while we're talking about reverse mortgages, Michael, I guess you're one that can help anybody with any kind of mortgage there, right?
As well, yeah, absolutely. Still spend a good amount of time doing forward mortgages, VA, FHA, conforming loans.
Okay.
How long have you been in the business, Michael? I know, but tell people.
12 years. 12 years.
And you came from?
I'm originally from Central New York, and some people can recognize that a little bit of something in my voice that can identify that I'm from upstate New York. And I've been here 12 years, and it's been great. My wife and I decided to make a change, and it's been a good one.
Yeah, love Colorado.
Oh, you got to love Colorado.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he talks about the storms and the weather in New York. He was in a wonderful business prior to. He kind of ran a beer distributor.
Oh, did you?
So he had all kinds of friends.
There was very. It was a fun business, and back in those days, especially, it was a fun business, family business we had for 50 years. My father started it, and we had a small territory, and it did well for us.
Well, good. Now, I touched on this for just a moment a while ago of what people could do with the money from their reverse mortgage, and I mentioned, maybe there's a second property they want to buy. So that is something that, boy, if you need some money, and great way to do it, and not have to go through some approval big deal borrowing somewhere else. It's your money, right?
Absolutely. And we've seen that happen where people will say, and again, it's good planning. It's good use of your money. It's tax-free. You can use that $100,000 we used in an earlier example. Take that $100,000, put it down towards the purchase of another property. And that does happen.
What I think a lot of people don't know is they always think that the only thing they can do a reverse on is a house they own as a refinance. But can you do a reverse on a purchase?
Yes. Yeah. Okay. I wasn't sure where you're going with that, Kurt. Yeah. We can do purchase, and we're seeing that. And what that does, the example that we use is you've got a $500,000 property that you owe no money on, and you want to relocate. That you take that $5,000 and you use that to purchase. It gives you more buying power. You're now looking at a property for $750,000. 500 gets you 750, no mortgage, and that's the beauty of it.
No payments, you're good to go.
Taxes and insurance.
Yeah. So it actually frees up the cash. If you wanted to buy a $600,000, you put maybe $300 down.
Yeah.
You have no mortgage payment. You saved yourself $200,000 that you can do other things with.
Yeah. More and more realtors are starting to become aware of this too, as they see seniors looking for downsizing, how to use that money best for them.
Sure. Yeah. Now, qualifying again, let's just hit that because we did that earlier in the show, and sometimes people join us a little bit later in the show. Age of one of the spouses.
62.
Has to be 62.
Mm-hmm.
And then there were some credit changes now where they do look at some things that they didn't do a few years ago.
Yeah.
But there are some little bit of an approval process.
You have to be able to show that you have the income to be able to pay your taxes and insurance once you've completed the loan.
Okay.
If you don't have, at the end of the day, if you don't have enough income, then you're going to fall into a situation where they'll do a set-aside. They will hold any equity that might be available, and they'll set it aside so you don't pay your taxes and insurance. The lender pays it for you. So there are situations that we can work through.
Gotcha.
What are the responsibilities, and I think we might have touched on it, as a client that has a reverse mortgage, what are the things that I have to do to make sure I keep it, besides living there for more than 6 months?
Again, I think it goes back to taxes and insurance and maintaining the property. That's the things that they have to do, and as long as they live there, they've met their obligations.
Now, when you talk about maintaining it, that kind of brings to mind, well, the FHA people come out and inspect my house? No.
No.
You just have to make sure that it's livable.
Yes.
Take care of the roof.
Yes,
Things like
exactly.
that.
Things that you should be doing anyway. And again, this could be the tool that you need to be able to do that. You could have a line of credit set up. You don't need it now, but in 5 years, I'm going to need improvements to be made, the maintenance, important maintenance.
Need a furnace or a new dishwasher.
Furnace is a good
or something.
example. Yeah, we run into that often where people, hey, I have to come up with this, and one way to do it.
Right. Well, Michael, this has been great information. Again, you can reach Michael at 720-895-0500. It is a free consultation, but at least sit down with him and let him go through all the different things about reverse mortgages. And then, you know what? Pretty easy to decide at the end of a consultation, probably, Kurt, if it's right for you.
Well, if after you've talked to Michael, you still have questions, seek a counselor, because the counselor has no skin in the game.
Mm-hmm.
The counselor is going to tell you exactly how it works, and they'll say, yes, it could. No, it wouldn't for you. Then at that point, you can come back and say, okay, now we can get started.
Right.
That's kind of the nice thing about the loan. You can't get a reverse mortgage unless you talk to a non-biased third-party person.
Right.
He can't even start his paperwork until you've gone to counseling.
Okay.
That's to protect you so you don't find some of these people that are just trying to slam you into it real quick.
Right. Well, Michael, thank you very much, sir.
Scott, thank you for having me.
You bet. Your disclosure, sir.
Okay. Affordable interest mortgage, 7400 East Arapahoe Road, Centennial, Colorado, 720-895-0500. We are regulated by the Division of Real Estate. We are an equal credit lender. Our NMLS number is 298191. On the loan I was talking about earlier, that was a $291,000 loan amount. Required a 740 FICO, 97% loan to value, 5.312 APR with no mortgage insurance.
Got about 90 seconds. Hopefully you can say something after you say that. But talk about the all-in-one loan for...
All-in-one right now is becoming very popular because it allows you to get cash out of your home and pay off your home without changing your payments. John has the loan. Red Merrill. There's so many people that we know that have that loan that are able to make the money work. I have plenty of articles. If you're interested, I'll be more than happy to send them to you. But it basically is a mortgage, a checking account, and a savings account all in one. Whatever you put in your checking account is basically going to pay you the same rate as you're paying on your mortgage, and applies all of that to your principal, thereby reducing your payoff, your payment, and your interest rate. Our average customer runs in and around in the low threes as the actual rate that they're going to pay on their mortgage.
Gotcha. Well, Kurt, thank you very much.
No problem.
And thank you for joining us today for Haystack Help Radio and a special edition of Your Money Matters. Be sure and check out our website, haystackhelp.com, as well as seniorresourceofcolorado.com. And our helpline is always open, 303-333-4357, 303-333-HELP. Have a great day and leave it right here on KLZ 560.
The views and opinions expressed on KLZ 560 are those of the speaker and do not necessarily reflect those of Crawford Broadcasting, the station, management, employees, associates, or advertisers. KLZ 560 is a Crawford Broadcasting God and Country station.